Falcon is in startup.
Falcon 9 is in startup. You can start to hear some of the cheers here in Hawthorne. The first and second stages are beginning to pressurize for launch.
Falcon 9, Transporter 2, LD is go for launch.
That was the launch director giving the final go for launch. We are T-minus 30 seconds from liftoff. Let's tune into terminal count and watch as the Transporter 2 mission begins.
T-minus 15 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition and liftoff.
Vehicles pitching downrange.
First stage chamber pressure is nominal.
We are T-plus 42 seconds into flight. Falcon 9 has cleared its tower, and we're currently throttling down in preparation for max Q. That should be coming up in about 20 seconds. Max Q is where the vehicle will experience the highest amount of aerodynamic pressures.
Falcon 9 is supersonic. Max Q.
And you heard the call out. We've passed the period of maximum aerodynamic pressure. Falcon 9 is now headed south along the Florida coast. All is looking good with the first stage trajectory. We have 5 events coming up in quick succession in about a minute. The first is main engine cutoff, also known as MECO, followed by stage separation, where the 2 stages will separate from one another. The first stage will then perform a flip to head back towards Florida, and the MVAC engine on the second stage will perform second engine start 1 and ignite that MVAC engine. Then the first stage will also begin its first of 3 burns, the boost back burn. And this is a view from the top of Falcon 9 looking down towards the 9 Merlin engines at the bottom of the first stage.
Stage separation confirmed.
And there you saw on screen, we had successful stage separation. The first stage started performing its flip maneuver. And the boost back burn should be ending in about 25 seconds.
Stage 1 boost back shutdown.
And there was confirmation of a successful boost back burn. Again, that is the first of 3 burns for the first stage. Coming up next is fairing deploy in a few seconds here from the top of the second stage.
Fairing separation confirmed.
And off come the 2 fairing halves, and they have separated and fallen away from the vehicle, exposing the 88 spacecraft to the vacuum of space. As a reminder, the recovery vessel HOS Briarwood will be attempting to recover the fairing half today from the water. So we are about T plus 4 minutes and 20 seconds into flight. We have a couple of views on screen. On the right-hand side is a view of our second stage Merlin vacuum engine, also known as the MVAC engine. It's currently in the first of 2 MVAC burns. This burn should last for until the T plus 8 minute and 24 second mark. About another 4 minutes left on this burn. And the next milestone will be for the first stage to perform its entry burn. That's what you're seeing on the left-hand side of your screen. Falcon 9 needs to execute an entry burn to slow itself down before hitting the dense parts of the atmosphere. And without this burn, relying on the atmosphere alone to slow Falcon 9 down would put unnecessary strain on the rocket.
Vehicle is on a nominal trajectory.
The call out for a nominal trajectory. Everything's looking great so far on the Transporter 2 mission. You also notice some honeycomb-like structures have deployed on the first stage on the left-hand side. Those are our 4 hypersonic grid fins positioned at the base of the inner stage. They help to orient the rocket during reentry by moving the center of pressure. There's also some plumes of gas coming out. This is cold nitrogen gas, which helps with attitude control. Both are essential to make sure that we have a nice targeted landing back on landing zone 1 later on in today's mission. The second burn, the entry burn, is coming up in about 30 seconds. Watch for that on the left-hand side. You can also see there's a speedometer of sorts on the bottom left-hand side. That tracks the speed of the first stage. And when we begin the entry burn, we'll start to reduce the speed. And shortly after the entry burn ends, we'll hit the denser parts of the atmosphere and also begin to further reduce our velocity as the first stage continues to make its way back towards Earth.
Stage 2 FTS is saved.
Stage 1 entry burn startup.
There's the call out, and you can see on screen 3 Merlin engines have relit and are currently slowing down the first stage. This burn is expected to last for another 15 seconds or so.
Vehicle on a nominal trajectory.
Stage 1 entry burn shut down.
And successful completion of our second of 3 burns. As I mentioned earlier, we are going to be attempting to recover the booster for an 8th time back on land at landing zone 1. The first stage has 1 more burn left, the landing burn. It begins just before we touch down and provides the booster with a soft descent before we land. At the same time Falcon lands, we are expecting Sequel 1 of our second stage. That's second engine cutoff. And shortly after that, we'll be entering a coast phase. And you can see the Florida coast and landing zone 1 are approaching on the left-hand side of the screen as this booster makes its attempt to land for an 8th time. This is a great shot of the first stage coming down with its landing burn.
Stage 2 internal guidance.
Stage 1, landing leg deploy.
That was as smooth as I'd seen it. We had phenomenal shots all the way through the landing burn. You heard the sonic booms. This booster has landed for the 8th time. That is the 89th recovery of an orbital class rocket.
Stage 1 nominal landing confirmed.
And what a way to start off the Transporter 2 mission. At the same time, we did have successful second stage, second engine cutoff, and confirmation of a nominal orbital insertion. We are now going to coast for the next 45 minutes or so while we wait for second engine start 2. Just a few minutes after that, we'll begin to deploy the 88 spacecraft on board this mission. We will see you back here around the T plus 53 minute and 30 second mark. So we are expecting the first batch of deployments to begin in a few seconds here.
Base 1, separation confirmed. NewSat 19, separation confirmed. First ISI satellite, separation confirmed. Tropics Pathfinder, separation confirmed. Domes 2, separation confirmed. Second ISI satellite, separation confirmed. TIVAC 0211, separation confirmed. YAM 3, separation confirmed. Tubin, separation confirmed. Umbrasar, separation confirmed. Ion satellite carrier, separation confirmed.
So we saw a couple of satellites, and we got confirmation for the NASA's PACE-1, Satellogic's NewSat 19, the first ICE-I satellite from an exoport, NASA's Tropics Pathfinder, Planet IQ's GNOMES 2, the second ICE-I satellite from an exoport, TIVAC 0211, Loft Orbital's YAM 3 from an exoport, and TU Berlin's Tubin from an exoport, the Umbrar SAR, and D-Orbit's Ion satellite carrier. We were expecting to hear the call out for TIVAC 0173, so we're going to check in with the teams and see if we can give you guys an update a little bit later. Coming up, we have another batch of 5. These are going to be for the Space Development Agency General Atomics Peritons Lynx 2, Satellogic's NewSat 20 and 21, Capella SAR satellite, and the third ICE-I satellite from an exoport.
Lynx 2, separation confirmed. USAT 20, separation confirmed. USAT 21, separation confirmed. Capella SAR satellite, separation confirmed. Third ISI satellite, separation confirmed.
So we got confirmation for...
Expected loss of signal, Diego Garcia.
We got confirmation for 5 more deployments. That was the Space Development Agency General Atomics Paraton's Lynx 2, Satellogics NewSat 20 and 21, the Capella SAR satellite, and the third ICE-I satellite from an exoport. For those that are wondering, exoport is an adapter, special adapter built by our ExoLaunch customer. We are about halfway through the 31 total deployments on today's mission. And coming up, we have 2 more deployments. These are going to be for the Space Development Agency General Atomics Lynx 1, as well as the DARPA Space Development Agency Air Force Research Laboratories Mandrake 2 Able.
Lynx 1, separation confirmed. Mandrake 2 able, separation confirmed.
We got confirmation for Space Development Agency General Atomics Paraton's Lynx 1 deployment, as well as the DARPA Space Development Agency Air Force Research Laboratories Mandrake 2 able. And coming up in less than a minute, we are expecting the next deployment. It's going to be the 4th ICE-I satellite from an exoport.
Fourth ISI satellite, separation confirmed.
And that was confirmation of the 4th ICE-I satellite from an exoport. The next batch of deployments, there's going to be 6 of them. It is for Swarm's 1st and 2nd Space B cluster from an exoport, Nano Avionics D2 Altacom 1 from an exoport, Spire's Lemur number 1 from an exoport, Satellogics NewSat 22, and Loft Orbital's YAM2 satellite.
First Space B cluster, separation confirmed. Second Space B cluster, separation confirmed. FT2 Atacom 1, separation confirmed. Lemur number 1, separation confirmed. NewSat 22, separation confirmed. YAM 2, separation confirmed.
And we got some really cool views of the satellites separating. That was for Swarm's first and second Space B cluster from an exoport, Nano Avionics D2 Altacom 1 from an exoport, Spire's Lemur number 1 from an exoport, Satellogic's NewSat 22, and Loft Orbital's YAM 2 satellite. The next two deployments are going to happen during a blackout period, which means that we lose camera views and telemetry. While we wait to regain access to ground station coverage in a few minutes, sit back and follow along with our animation that shows you where we're at in the mission. We'll see you back here at the T+ 1 hour and 15-minute mark.
Expected loss of signal, Bangalore. Acquisition of signal, Thule.
Welcome back once again to the webcast for Transporter 2, SpaceX's second dedicated small-sat rideshare program mission. We have two deployments coming up. These are going to be the last two for our rideshare customers. They are for Spaceflight Incorporated's Sherpa FX2 and Sherpa LTE1. And that should be coming up in about 20 seconds.
Sherpa FX2 separation confirmed. Sherpa LTE1 separation confirmed.
And you see on screen and heard the confirmation. We got confirmation of Spaceflight Incorporated's Sherpa FX2 and Sherpa LTE1 deployment. Now, these are the last of our rideshare deployments for today, but we're not done. We have 3 Starlink satellites to deploy as well. That's going to be coming up in a few minutes here, so sit back. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll see you back here at the T+ 1 hour and 27-minute mark. And welcome back to the webcast for SpaceX's Transporter 2 mission. If you're just joining us, we are close to the end of today's mission, which launched this morning from Cape Canaveral Space Force Station in Florida at 3:31 p.m. Eastern Time. We then had 2 successful ignitions and shutdowns of the second stage Merlin vacuum engine, then successful deployment of a majority of our spacecraft for our commercial
0173,
and
separation confirmed.
Government customers. We were also able to successfully recover our first stage for an 8th time on our landing zone. We just had the confirmation of the TIVAC 0173 satellite. So all payloads so far are have been confirmed for deployment. And we have 3 Starlink satellites to go, and we are expecting confirmation of that deployment here shortly.
Expected loss of signal, Svalbard.
Starlink deploy confirmed.
And there goes our 3 Starlink satellites. Again, that is 88 spacecraft confirmed for deployment on today's Transporter 2 mission. With that said, we will be bringing our webcast to an end. We would like to thank all of our rideshare customers for their support on today's mission. We would also like to thank the United States Air Force for range support, as well as the Federal Aviation Administration for licensing. Continue to follow us on SpaceX.com for future missions and milestones, as well as our Twitter and Instagram profiles. And if you are excited by what you've seen today and want to join our team, visit SpaceX.com/careers to learn more about working at SpaceX. And as always, thank you to all of our viewers for your continued support, and have a great rest of your day.